I'm SD and I've showed you how to tailor a t-shirt at home, but yo, I'm about to blow your mind because by the end of this video, you are going to be a straight assembly line with tailored tees. Arguably the hardest and longest part of tailoring anything, including your t-shirts, is, well, pinning and measuring. Well, let me clarify, it's not hard, it can just be a little time consuming. But yo, check this out, I got a simple trick for you that's gonna save you so much time. Let's say you're gonna tailor a t-shirt from Target because it doesn't fit at all. And you go to measure and pin your shirt and it probably looks like this at the end, right? And that makes sense, yes, you put the pins where you want that new straight stitch to be. And you might be like Big Brain Brian and have a little bit more forward thinking to your thought process because you angled the pins the right way so that you can just kind of pull them out as you go along. Well, you're right, but I'm gonna do you one better. Put your pins on opposite sides. Wait, what? Yeah, opposite sides, because what ends up happening when you tailor a t-shirt is you'll put a new straight stitch on one of the sides and you'll have the bulk, the majority of your fabric hanging off the side of your machine out of the way, right? Yeah, you're good. But that only happens on one of the sides because as soon as you go to put a straight stitch on the other side, well, you don't have that luxury anymore. Now, all of the bulk and the bunch of your fabric, it's all gonna be underneath your machine, so you have to kind of like force it through and shove it through while still, angling your machine the right way. It's super frustrating. But if you put your pins on opposite sides of your shirt, on the front of your shirt and the back of your shirt, you're afforded the luxury of having the bulk of the material of your shirt hanging off the side of your sewing machine twice. You're welcome. It's a weekend afternoon, and when most guys are out mowing the lawn and doing landscaping and yard work and all that type of stuff, well, I spend my weekend tailoring my girls' clothes. And what people don't realize is that women have the exact same problem with their clothes fitting properly, just like guys do. And if you want to score some brownie points, let me tell you, learn how to use a sewing machine and tailor women's clothes just like you do men's clothes. Oh man. And I'm gonna dive more into this in a future video, but when you tailor women's clothes, it's much different from tailoring men's clothes because they have, well, a different anatomy to them, a different shape, and it requires a completely different skill set. And I tailor all kinds of clothes in my family, and what I've noticed is that you have to be very careful. You have to kind of compensate for the fact that, well, women have a bigger chest than guys do, so you have to come way out on the chest if you're tailoring a sweatshirt or a t-shirt, and the pants are completely different because women's hips are a lot different than guys' hips. But it's not hard. Overall, it's not hard. The materials are different too. A lot of women's clothes have much more stretchy fabrics to them, so I end up having to use a jersey needle or a ballpoint needle more often, whereas guys' clothes, they're way more robust. It's just kind of cotton and polyester. You can get away with just using a universal needle, and then you're good. Now, these pair of pants here, what happened is the hem came out on the bottom of them, so I have to fix the hem. They're just a normal pair of dress pants from Express. She gave them to me and she's like, hey, can you fix this hem? And I'm like, yep, absolutely, no problem. We've done that before. We've done a blind hem stitch on this channel before. When we did it last time is we actually did it by hand. When you can do it by hand, it wasn't hard when we did it, but it's 1,000 times easier with a blind hem presser foot. But hang on, I'll get to this part in a second. If you don't know what a blind hem is, you notice how it's, how there's a, it's rolled, there's a hem at the bottom down here, but you can't see any stitching at the top here. It's also called an invisible stitch. Well, that's exactly how it works because most of the thread is running inside of the pants here, and then it pops out and it comes back in, and then it keeps running along on the inside, and then it pops out and then it pops back in, and so on and so forth all the way around. Now, when we did it by hand, it's doable, but it's not that easy. This guy is a complete game changer. This is a presser foot. We haven't dived too deeply into presser feet, but presser feet are one of those things for a sewing machine that completely make it so versatile and so well-rounded and a jack of all trades as far as what it can do. I'm gonna fly through these pants when I end up using this presser foot. And there's all kinds of different ones. There's buttonhole presser feet. I have to get a rolled hem presser foot because when I shorten a dress shirt, if you look at the bottom of your dress shirt, there's a rolled hem on the bottom of it, and it's really small, it's really narrow. You can roll it by hand and pin it in place if you want to. You can try that. it's doable, but it's not really my preferred method. Well, luckily for us, they make a presser foot that'll roll it for us. So what it does is it'll just kind of sew along, it'll roll the hem for us, and then we're good. It's gonna look like we bought it from the store like that, only, you know, the length that we want it to be. So I'm gonna go dive into these pants real quick here. This is my life. It's pretty awesome. And I completely changed the process and the speed at which you're gonna go on these tailoring binges now, so good luck with that. SD out, deuces!